Hello and welcome to sim.bc where it is 16:13. I've learned to do that without even looking at my phone. Anyway, hello and welcome back me to my own apartment. Gonna shave this off. It looks so. It's longer than I usually like it. It's not only my beard or my mustache, but it's also the hair. Can you see? So much. Looks like I've been living on the road for days, which I kind of have, but still have the hotels and stuff. Probably could have gotten it fixed if I just wanted to. Oh, and it's so nice being back home and having a nice little kebab. Mm, the best. And you can finally chill out and relax and take it all in, most importantly of all. Because since I traveled so much and so fast between different countries, not different countries, well, I didn't actually. I went into Monaco at one point. But since I traveled so much between cities and met so many people, and it went really fast, and I walked all the time, and I saw so many things, it's kind of hard to take it all in, to like actually understand what was it that I actually did just now. So this is going to be a bit of a recap. So I started from Toulouse. No, I did not. I started with going to Toulouse. So I started in Bordeaux. And I started on the top of the morning. It was like 7:30 or something crazy like that I took the train, which was way too early, by the way. In retrospect, I would have liked to see some more, like if I could have taken the train at 9 at the earliest, which was my original plan. But as I've told you, the train schedule was already booked, fully booked. So that's why I couldn't take that train. That's why I had to take the earlier one. But it was totally worth it. It was really good that I went away, that I actually got away to see these things, because I was a bit on the fence before I went. I was like, oh, should I do this? Should I not? Is it really that interesting? And it turns out, in retrospect, as I said, that yeah, it was totally worth it. Toulouse, then, really beautiful city, kind of a small city. Felt like there was mostly families, families with kids and stuff everywhere. It probably would be enough to be there for 1 or 2 days, for 2 days, I would say. On average, I think you can see the entirety of Toulouse. Not the entirety of Toulouse, but the interesting things, let's say, the main things that you should see, you could probably do in 2 days if you're a normal person and actually take your time at each of the monuments and the viewing points and the sites and so on and so forth. But yeah, I totally recommend going to Toulouse. It's probably a very good weekend trip. I can imagine that, as I said, you get everything done. There's lots of fancy restaurants, or not fancy, but lots of good restaurants which had really good food, and they provided you with a lot of food. Seemed to be kind of a underlying theme in the city, at least at the 2 or 3 pubs or restaurants that I visited. So totally recommend it. It was really awesome. The people were very helpful as well. Seemed like a very open little community. Then I moved over to Marseille, which I also did kind of early. When I forgot my key and all of that, and it was the struggle, it was the pain, but it worked. And I went to Marseille, and I would say that Marseille you would probably need a week for, if you really want to understand everything, because Marseille, as I've understood, is quite a large city, and especially when I went up to the Notre Dame of Marseille, I kind of saw the entire city from above, and there was so much of the city that I didn't visit. Mostly because I deemed it to be uninteresting and it wasn't worth my time getting to some of the things, and I saw the things I wanted to see in the centre-ville, let's say, in the city center. I saw the castle, I saw the big churches, I saw the port, I saw the what I would like to call the sky mirror, which probably isn't its real name, because there is actually a real sky mirror, an actual sky mirror in Monaco. But it was really awesome. And by the way, visiting Notre Dame on the top of the little hill, totally worth the entire trip. I mean, I could have paid the same amount that I paid for going to all of these different cities just to see that view from that place. It was truly astonishing, and I really felt complete when I was there. I felt like this is the kind of vacation that I want and the kind of vacation that I liked. So I really enjoyed that experience. A common theme, by the way, I'm recommending all the places I visited because I love them all. Uh, Saving a special gem to the end though. um, then yeah, I would say then I moved on from Marseille. As I said, it's a kind of a big city, and you have the opportunity to go outside the city because there are like central parks and national parks outside Marseille. I would like to say that there are. I kind of think. Oh well, yeah, there are. Never mind. There is like a really good park, or supposed to be a really good park close to Marseille, but you probably have to drive there or take a bus, which I didn't have the time for, which I assume is really good because I heard lots of people talk about it. Anyway, Marseille recommended. It's a big city. It's a very it's I would say it has a small town feel to it, even though it's big, which I liked. I truly liked that. Some people would be all like, "Oh, I want this, the New York City vibe, or the London vibe, or the Parisian vibe, or something like that." But this was more like it felt kind of like Bordeaux. It felt like a big city in a small way, and I love that. I think that's really awesome to have all the convenience of a big city, but having the feeling of a small one. Best of the two worlds, in my opinion. Anyway, and then I went from Marseille to Nice, and I did that in the middle of the day, so I had some time in the morning in Marseille, which was good. And then I arrived in Nice at the afternoon. I think I would like to say at 3 or 4 or something like that. And I reached the city of Nice exactly as the sunset was setting over the sea. And yet again, I would say that I had many experiences, which I would say was worth the entire trip. So if I could have chosen just one experience from the trip to like experience, it would be really hard because individually there were so many experiences which were worth the entire amount I spent on the entire week that I was gone, or the extended weekend. I was gone for 5 days. I think. Yeah, I was gone for like approximately 5 days. And I would say the amount I spent and the hazard, so to say, all the cons was easily outweighed of many of the experiences that I gained from this trip, even if they were individual experiences. Even if I were to put a value on them individually against all of the cons, they still outweighed all the cons of the trip. And then I had a lot of those experiences. And as I said, one of those were actually seeing the sunset over Nice, over the beach there. It was a really cool experience to see. It was awesome. It was truly astonishing. And then I took a train to go up to a castle there, and I saw the entire city. Yet again, as I said in Marseille, you probably could spend a good week in Nice without being bored. Oh, no problem at all. Because Nice is not huge, but it's big. It's bigger than Toulouse, smaller than Marseille, I think. I would say that. That's my impression of it. But this is the funny thing. Nice felt like a bigger city than Marseille. The vibe I got from there was more of a big city vibe, even though it was a smaller city. And then I know that you can go to the mountains like around Nice as well if you want to travel there. Anyway, we're gonna wrap this up because I see that the time is ticking. The day after Nice, which was amazing, I went to Monaco, and Monaco was on another level, like literally, because it looked like the when I got out of the train. If I say it like this, when I went out of the train station, I saw down to the bay. I saw down to the port from the train station, and it looked like the city was built in different levels. It looked like a video game. It truly looked like some of the video games I played as a child had some inspiration from Monaco because it's built on a mountainside, so they have different levels and so on and so forth. Lots of stairs, which I love. I love going up and down. I think that's amazing. It's amazing city design, and I was an architecture student in high school for a while, and I really love it. Even though I thought that the part I was in when I arrived, the architecture there was kind of dull in my opinion, but then I moved over to the other side, so to say, of Monaco, to the more modern side or whatnot, and that looked truly astonishing. Took my breath away. Anyway, well, lots of good things to see in Monaco. I don't think Monaco needs any marketing, so to say. It was just an amazing experience. If I got to pick one, I would say it was the aquarium for me, because I love going to aquariums. I love to see animals and stuff, and I have never seen, well, I have seen, but not in my adulthood, so to say. I've never seen, in recent memory, seen sharks and stuff, and it was really amazing to see sharks. Now that I was alone, I could take my time with it, and I could actually see everything that I wanted to see, and I could, yeah, as I said, take my time with it. Anyway, then the most, I would say, okay, if I were to pick an experience, it was probably going to be this one. I moved when I felt I was done in Monaco, and then I moved up the mountain. And up on the mountaintop, I reaching the mountaintop, being at the mountaintop, and see the small city at the mountaintop, La Tourbin, something like that. It was okay. That was hands down the coolest thing. I can't say it was the coolest thing because the things were cool in different ways, but that was probably the one that stood out the most to me. It was such an achievement going up on that, for me, a personal achievement going up on that mountain and see the mountains around me, feel like I was part of the top, and I love going up to tops of places. That's like truly vacation for me, in my opinion. So that was truly amazing. Then I went down again, took the train back. You've heard about it already, but I would say the one thing that I did in this as well was I had lunch by the beach in the sunset, and that was awesome. I think I'm going to, no, I don't think, I'm definitely going to include a picture of that, I think, if I don't have a video of me eating a Caesar salad by the beach, like literally on the beach with the sea, Mediterranean Sea in front of me. It was really awesome, and I'm trying to take all of this in, and it's hard because it went so fast in a way, but it's really cool that I managed to do all of this on my own. I managed to upload stuff at the same time. I'm really happy with the experience in every conceivable way, and I think that the little hazards that I felt during the trip, they were dwarfed by the internet issues that I had. So it was like my biggest problem was uploading videos, and that wasn't that big of a problem. So that really took away the hazards, let's say, from the traveling, and focused that hazard on videos, which meant that my experience of the traveling itself is like only positive, like 99%. So I'm kind of thanking this little project for letting me enjoying my trip even more than I probably would have done otherwise. Because otherwise I would have, if I say it like this, if I wouldn't have time to pity myself about this, I would have pitied myself about something else. So I'm really happy that I did have this, because now my experience of the trip is really good. It probably would have been as well before, but like instead of being 80-20, it's like 99-1 right now. It was really awesome. Going back here with the bus though, tedious to be honest, but I'm here, I'm back, and now we're going forward from here on out. So yeah, that was a bit of a recap for me, just taking it all in. Probably going to try and make a video. Can't promise when that's going to launch, when that's going to air. Probably in a week or two, maybe 3. When I have the time. Maybe come out tomorrow or the day after that. We'll see. Have a nice day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.